Cheating Death. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. One of the things we like to do here is talk a lot about business and how it relates to life. And this time I'm going to do it a little bit in reverse. I'm going to talk a little bit about life and how it relates back to business. On the last episode, we were discussing that I had a little prompt from one of these prompt cards, and it said, "What was your first car?" And it reminded me of a lot of the first cars that I have weren't really ones that I felt like I owned, and we had a lot of issues with them, and that happened for a number of years. But the first vehicle I remember really feeling a connection to was my red Ford Courier. And if you're not aware, the Ford Couriers were a smaller, one of the first small pickups created by Ford. There were also Mazdas of a similar. They're basically the same model. A lot of the small Toyotas and so forth. That a lot of those came out of this time period of the early. Late 70s, early 80s. I think that one was a 79 Ford Courier, if I remember correctly, because it's my same year I was born. So I liked the little thing. It was a stick shift. It was very simple, very straightforward, pretty darn reliable, and you could haul stuff with it, which was nice. I really liked that little pickup, and got a lot of good use out of it. And it was just funny because I had a really interesting situation with that vehicle, and it was a death-defying experience. All right, and really one of the only major car accidents, knock on wood, that I've ever been in, and definitely the only one that I've directly caused. So that was a situation. So I was in high school at the time. I was working on the family cattle ranch. I was at the same time also doing sports. I was going to the gym on a regular basis to keep in shape beyond the sports. I think at that time I was off of sports at the time, and so I was going to the gym early in the mornings, and I guess I just wasn't getting enough sleep. Because I had a situation to where I was driving, I was on my way to work, I was out in the country, and I started swerving a little bit, and I could feel myself kind of dazing off. I'm like, well, I'm almost there. I'm just gonna just keep going. And there were people walking, and I was going, oh God, I gotta be careful because there's people there and stuff. Kept driving, and ended up waking up in the split second that I had hit something, because I had fallen asleep at the wheel, and what I had hit was a guardrail that was guarding the aqueduct there, and there's a large body of water rushing by underneath. Without the guardrail there, or if I would have gone a little bit earlier or hit it at a slightly different angle, I would have probably ended up dead pretty easily, going into the water and not being able to get out in time. It's the design of the aqueduct. It's kind of has the ability to suck things in, and so it was not a good sight, and not that far off. I mean, it was viewing distance from my job, but that little situation, nobody got hurt. I didn't get hurt too badly. Shook up, definitely. I was in a state of shock. And that totaled my little red pickup. But it was a learning experience, because I learned real quickly how quick you can lose it all. It's probably the closest I've been to death my entire life that I'm aware of, and it was just, there was everything about that situation was very surreal. And it really felt like I had been giving it a new lease on life and given, a second chance type of thing. And so everything, the air smelled sweeter, and and everything tasted better, and everything else. For quite a while, I had a different outlook. And it's been one of those things that's I've always kept with me. It's also one of those things I'm very careful about driving now, especially with other people, especially if I'm feeling a little drowsy. I will pull over. And I've never had another major situation with that ever again, even though I still do get tired on occasion while driving. But it's one of those scenarios you have to take those outrageous situations of life and be able to sit back and learn from it and be able to take it on as a learning lesson and something you could pass on to other people so they don't necessarily have to go through the same thing. So I mean, if you get tired, pull over, just because you don't want that little tiny split second when you're out of it to mean your death or someone else's, or even worse, even, dismemberment or something horrible that could happen. So be very careful with that type of thing, and enjoy life. We don't have that much time here. I've talked a lot about before on here about losing loved ones and everything, and it reinforces that situation of knowing that we don't have that much time, and you don't really know how much, but we know it's not a lot. At a best case scenario, it's not a lot. So do what you can, get out there and risk more, be more proactive, and do the things that you think you're supposed to be doing, that you think would be interesting, that you think would be enhancing to the rest of the world. Go out and get it done. Make it happen. Put yourself out there a little bit. It doesn't hurt. As long as you're not risking life and limb and doing something stupid, get out there. Make something happen. That's an energy that I try to stick to, and you forget from time to time, but it's something I try to stick with on a regular basis, especially when I'm up against something that's uncomfortable or something that seems like a big boulder that's in the way. It's like there's not enough time in life. Get on with it. Move past it. Keep going. That's it. Simple idea. I could take a simple prompt like that and somehow sometimes pull up some pretty crazy memories, but it's all helpful, at least to me. This is helpful to me. I don't know if it helps you at all or not, but I'll tell you something that is helpful is I've been helping people with their content marketing. In fact, I met some folks online just recently that I'm now I'm going to be reaching out to and helping them out with their content marketing, which is a lot of fun. You can get help on your own without ever needing to meet me. If you're just wondering whether content marketing is right for you and your business, go check out my training. Go check it out. It's at contentmarketingquestion.com. I apologize. Yesterday I had a flub on the video where I added an extra I to me .com-y. It's not .com-y, it's .com. There's no I on the end. It's so contentmarketingquestion.com. You're going to get that question answered one way or the other, whether it's right for you or not, because it's not right for everybody. There's at least 7 different scenarios that I outline of why you should not do content marketing. But anybody else, you should get on the bandwagon and get moving with this, because it is something that it's been around forever, but with new technology, it opens it up to all of us, and it's a way for you to jump ahead of your competition. So contentmarketingquestion.com. That's all I got for today. You have a good one. Get out there and let the magic happen.